For $1 million home, you need $200,000 a down payment.
Yeah.
That could be significant for one single individual or even as a couple.
Yeah.
Why don't we get two families, right?
Yeah.
Or two sets of friends together, four people involved,
Mhm.
and buy the house together?
Between dollars to dreams. Welcome to another episode this week. Now, Pierre doesn't want to lend me any money to buy my house, but I can figure out a way that we can do it together.
That is
is
co-ownership. Yeah.
So he's going to help me out, and I'm going to help him out, and we're going to own a house together.
Yeah, because one of the things, what we're finding with houses being minimum in the GTA, $1 million, getting that down payment,
Could be a
right?
significant hurdle.
For $1 million home, you need $200,000 a down payment,
Yeah.
right? So that could be significant for one single individual or even as a couple.
Yeah.
Why don't we get two families, right?
Yeah.
Or two sets of friends together, four people involved, and buy the house together?
Right.
That sounds like a good idea.
That sounds like a good idea. So why would one want to do that? And you've said it. You've alluded to the first one there. It will help because it can contribute greater because you have more people involved now to the down payment. But I guess there are other things involved that will be beneficial having co-ownership. What are some of those things that people might?
I mean, there's good and bad, like you said, in everything. So probably the biggest one is having the increasing purchasing power. Now, if it's just Pierre, I can only afford that $500,000 home, and there's not that many $500,000 homes in Ontario. Yeah. So now, by pairing off with my good friend Josh, now I can maybe afford a $501,000 home. Now, that is accurate. Maybe now I can afford an $800,000 home. And as a result of that, there are many more $800,000 homes. So it increases my purchasing power. And as a result of that, our pathway to home ownership is that much quicker.
Accelerated.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think also having that, as I said in our last episode when we were talking about accountability partner, so having shared responsibility, just like a partnership, having shared responsibility and risk can also make the process a little bit easier on you as individuals.
And we're going to share expenses, which is great, right? So instead of me paying for the mortgage, the property taxes, the utilities, we're going to split it two, three, or even four people. I still remember when I bought my first home, across the street from us was two families that got together, four people, and basically they moved in. Very cramped, but they had a goal in mind. This was the easiest way for them to get their first home, build equity into the house, and then 4 or 5 years down the line, they now both families could afford their own home without the help of anybody else.
And also, I think about, okay, you having a good credit score, and then you're bringing on someone who also has a good credit score. Yeah, that kind of lowers the risk to the bank when they look from the outside. Hold on, this doesn't look as risky.
Exactly.
Maybe we get a better rate.
Exactly. Right. And the thing is, I mean, which could be a negative, but like you've put it, is a positive to the bank. Now we've got four people on the hook for the mortgage as opposed to one, right? Correct. So we're kind of spreading the risk, and you're right. The banks will look at that more favorably, but everyone needs to have good credit. Because if one person doesn't have a good credit per se, it may impact everyone. Ability to get that house.
So you look at that. Of course, the bank is going to look at each one of us, our financial capacity, and all of that. And of course, now that if someone is saying, okay, we want to buy a house together, we now will have to assess as financial planners how we're going to do that. The same
Mhm.
conversation that we had for you last week
That's right.
when budgeting and having a
Mhm.
plan, the same conversation will be, but now
Exactly.
just for a group of people.
Exactly. Exactly. And we could guide them in
Yeah.
terms of the steps and what they need to
That's
know
right.
to ensure that all four
Yeah.
are able to meet their goals, right? And another thing that just came to my mind
Yeah.
is by having four people sharing in terms of the down payment and the other expenses could lower the CMHC fees, the fees that you
That's
charge.
right. That's
So
right.
now, instead of just putting 5% down,
You're putting
we
20.
could maybe put 20% down, or if not 20, maybe 15 or 10% down. The more down payment you put, the less the CMHC fees that you pay. So this is all positive things that could occur when you're sharing or having a co-ownership.
And also, I think this, and I think you started with this, the ability to afford, and maybe with having co-ownership with someone, you can now live closer to your other
I
family
didn't
and
think
friends.
that's
So
right.
proximity it becomes a
Exactly.
factor. You don't have
Exactly.
to move. I don't have to move all the way to Sudbury.
Exactly.
Away from you, maybe I should think about it.
Okay.
But I
Sudbury's
don't.
not
I can.
bad.
I can.
Yeah.
I can stay maybe on the east end.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
North Shore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So we're by at 500,000. Right off the bat, I could think of a few places, and that would be like Sudbury or sorry, not Sudbury, Windsor,
Yeah.
or maybe Hamilton. Now Windsor's 4 hours away.
Yeah.
Now, by having more people join in the home ownership, maybe we could afford 800, 900,000. Now maybe I could afford in Mississauga, Brampton, or
That is
even
correct.
Scarborough and Pickering,
That
things
is
of that
correct.
nature. Yeah.
And of course, we'll set up that plan to show you what's the process going to be like for you to ensure that you are closer to owning that first home.
Yeah.
But as we said, there are pros to this process, but there are drawbacks as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
So because they're people, different personalities, I don't like the guy on my left. All right.
Yeah.
And because I don't like him,
Yeah.
I might just walk away from that agreement.
Exactly.
And then what happens to you?
Then the guy on the left is holding the bag.
Right.
Right.
You're
And
left with everything.
exactly. So one of the things that you need to remember is that each person that are owners, so it could be up, 4, 5, 6 people, each person is severally and legally liable for 100% of the debt.
Yeah.
So maybe there's 4 of you and 3 of you consistently put the money towards the mortgage, and that one person never puts anything down. You're all on the hook.
Yeah.
Right. It's not that one person. So just like in marriage, in relationship, you've got to be confident and trust the person that you're going into a co-ownership agreement with.
I trust Stephanie.
I trust Stephanie too.
I'll go into a co-ownership agreement with Stephanie. All right.
Yeah.
I don't trust the Frenchman on my left. All right. I don't. All right.
My MAGA person on my right. No comment, but we'll leave it to that.
Okay.
We'll leave.
So we talk about shared responsibility and the need to ensure that you can trust and have confidence in that person's ability to pay you. Right. Now, what happens? And we can look at if you're left on the hook and you're not able to make your payments, you default. That is not going to only affect the person who left their credit score. It's going to affect your credit score.
Exactly.
And your ability to own homes in the future.
Exactly. So you're right. You've got to think about that. The impact to not only the relationship, right, but to your credit score. But one of the biggest things I see, if we kid around about, not trusting each other type of thing, but friendship and
money.
Friendship and relationship in general are, it's things that you hold dearly.
That's
right. And this could be a risk to the relationship, right? So you've got to take that into consideration.
Yeah, this is a commitment not for 5 years or 2 years. It's maybe 20 years, 25 years.
The only thing I would say, I don't think it should be a 5 to 20 year commitment. I think this co-ownership agreement
It's just
is a short term.
temporary.
It's a short term.
Yeah.
You need to have a clear goal in mind and a clear exit strategy
Right.
in mind, right? So whatever mortgage you're taking,
Yeah.
right? So let it be a 3 or 5 year, you're committed for that particular period of time. And then the goal should be at the end of the mortgage, at the end of the term of the mortgage, 3 to 5 years, that you sell the house and you share in the profits of the house, and that should be sufficient to give you a significant down payment to buy your own home, either yourself or with your partner.
Right. There you go. That's where the goals have to be the same. My intention might have been to have the house for 5 to 10 years or 20 years. Your intention is to be for 3 years, right? So you've got to have a clear strategy, right? So this now ties in to that agreement.
Oh, big time.
The legal aspects.
You do not entertain this strategy without everybody have independent legal advice.
Yeah.
Everybody should clearly know what their rights are, what the pros and cons. We've kind of listed some of them, but everybody's got to be in agreement to what their responsibilities are, and how are we going to split the money?
Yeah.
Right. So not everyone's going to put an equal amount of money that we're going to split it 25, 25, 25, 25 a quarter each. So maybe you've put in more money. Right. So maybe you're entitled to 60% of the money when we sell, and I'm only entitled to 40. So it's better to know right at the front, and everyone's fully aware. Do not go into this type of arrangement without having a legal agreement completed by a lawyer. I wouldn't even do it on my own.
That's right. And it's just like you're getting into a partnership. With any partnership business, you have to have a partnership agreement. How you share the profits, who pays the expense, who gets paid. So the same goes with you buying a house with someone. Now, we're not lawyers, and we won't be able to the technical know-hows of all of this. We have an idea of the process, of course, but this is where now, working with your planner, we will recommend you get a lawyer.
And we have a slew of lawyers that we've worked with, so we could give you a list that you could contact and pick whichever one best suits your particular needs. But it is a must to have a lawyer and have a co-ownership agreement kind of signed, and ultimately an exit strategy. This is not like a marriage. This is not a 40 or 50 year commitment that you're having. This is a short.
Oh no.
No comment. This is a short-term. Commitment that we're going to come into, and maybe the strategy is pay down the mortgage. Right now, there's 4 of us. Right, and the payment is let's say $2,000 mortgage. Each of us have 5 that we're paying $500. Maybe we could pay more. Maybe each of us pays $1,000 each. So now we're paying down the mortgage at a faster rate, so that when we sell it in the future, we're gonna have a bigger gain. Right. So those are the strategies that we would work out. We would provide projections and give you an idea that in 3 years, 5 years, if you sell it, each of you will walk away with, let's say, I don't know, $75,000 to $100,000, and that should be sufficient to buy your first home.
That is correct.
Or maintain that home and buy another home together.
That is correct.
Right?
That is correct.
So
whatever that conversation is, you can have that.
Exactly.
So find your peer. Find your co-owner, work with them, and work with us.
Exactly.
So that we can
the us part, not the we part, right? Right.
We will, of course, work with you, with your co-owners, to ensure that you're closer to realizing your dream of home ownership in Canada.
Exactly.
So give us a call, like, subscribe, leave your questions. We're happy to answer them. We're transforming your dollars now to Canadian dreams.
Okay, you were scaring me.
That's right. Thank you for watching. Take care.
Have a good night.